any former roads minister and also the member of parliament for Bantama Francis Asenso Boakye and Konko Kasa. Honorable, thank you very much for making your time for us today. I've seen you in the green room for quite a while before the show even started. Thank you for such amazing punctuality. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine.
Okay.
When I got the invitation, I thought I was going to speak on Kesben, because that's where Kesben FM, that's where the link from. So I didn't know I was going to speak to you. Which station, where are you based?
Well, we're based in Texas, USA. And we have a branch in Ghana. It just so happens that the producer who booked you, I think also has a stint with, I'm not even sure if it's Kesben or one of those other stations over there. That's where the confusion may have come from.
Okay, all right.
But if you don't mind, I'm very happy to speak with you.
No.
Okay.
I'm happy to speak to you too. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. And well, I feel that you have said quite a bit about this issue, but you have yet another chance to get down to the bottom of what exactly you meant with that letter.
Yeah.
Thank you again. All right.
Yeah.
First of all, there's let's put it this way. What prompted the writing of the letter? Now, Honorable, again, platform with Kasabia Ghana for TBR, you can wahasi. And at any point, if you want to switch to Chi, fine. If you want to stay in English, whatever.
Understand? Whatever you want, however you want me to speak, whether in English or Chi, I'm fine. But you see, there's a reason why our premise of our constitution put it in Article 35 of our constitution that successive governments should continue with projects initiated by previous government.
That's right.
Because they envisage that it's possible that the government will come and because of political reasons, they will stop a major project initiated by the previous administration. It is in line with this thinking. That's why I wrote to President Mahama.
Okay. So primarily, go ahead, please.
Yeah. The road minister had indicated that, they were going to build a new expressway from Accra to Kumasi. And that from his interactions, he had indicated that they were not going to continue with the similar project that was ongoing, that had been ongoing for some time, started by President Kufuor, which saw to dualization of major sections along the Accra-Kumasi corridor. And when President Kufuor left, when the NDC assumed office in 2027 to 2016, they abandoned that project. They didn't add even a kilometer of road intervention on that corridor, and that did not help. When President Kufuor came, he decided to revive the project. You and I know there's no point belaboring the fact that Accra-Kumasi is the Accra-Kumasi road is the most important
major corridor.
In fact, a third of the Ghanaian population depend on that road. So I have written extensively the need for us to have this highway done. But thankfully, there is an ongoing intervention, which is to dualize from Accra to Kumasi. And President Kufuor started. He's done some major sessions, Accra, circle to Taifa towards Ofanko. He did, if you know Ghana very well, first when we were kids, we were going to Accra, we used to pass through in Sawam and Nkoko. And it was causing a lot of delays because of these critical choke points on the corridor in Nkoko and in Sawam. So President Kufuor did bypasses outside of the Nkoko main township and the Sawam main township. And he also did in Sawam to Apedra dual carriage. Okay, and he also did Fumesa to KNUST. Okay, so it was for the administration that took over from President Kufuor to continue, but they didn't. So when the Kufuor administration came, they decided to continue, and they started with key bypasses in Enyirisi, Osino, Konongo, and Enyinem. These are the 4 critical choke points on the corridor. And it is expected that when that bypasses are completed, it will reduce the traffic situation drastically, and then the travel time drastically. From it is close to 2 hours, you will get to the reduction of travel duration. Okay, so and this project is ongoing. It has achieved about 72% physical completion. Okay, so it's almost done. Then when that is 46 kilometers. After that one is done, there are 94 kilometers along the corridor that is yet to be dualized. And when these 2 major interventions are completed, you will have a dual carriage from Accra to Kumasi. That is a major highway. We've put in a lot of money into it, which you all know that is going to achieve the same resource as the one that they are proposing. So when the minister, wait a minute, please. When the minister indicated that they were going to start a new highway, a new expressway. By the way, the expressway, highway, freeway, they are all the same. It's just that some have 2 lanes, some have 3 lanes, some have 4 lanes, given the volume of traffic on the road. You live in America, you know that in some cases they call it a freeway, they call it expressway, they call it highway. In the New Jersey area, they call it turnpike. You know, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. So my point was that it is important for the government to continue with the existing one, but to achieve the same result, than to abandon it and do a new one, which will cost a lot. The president had indicated that they're going to start construction early 2026 and complete by the end of his term, which means that it will happen within a duration of less than 3 years. And I was saying that from my experience, that is not possible. You know.
Okay, if you pause there for a second, because we'll come to that. I want us to, deal with the first part of what you said, and we'll come to this part here. So from what you've said, I don't see nothing too wrong with that at all. If that's what you were proposing, right?
Exactly.
Except that you seem to also be suggesting that it is this or that. Whereas, as far as I'm concerned, it was not supposed to replace this project. Was that the case? Was the government?
Well, I mean,
government not going to tackle this project at all?
That is not even my problem. I mean, if at the end of the day they continue what has been started, and they finish and they want to do another one, that one is the government's own decision. They can do that. But my point is that it will be a wasteful exercise if we abandon what we have already spent a lot of money, and it will achieve the same results you want to do a new one for. By the way, you said, the finance minister said in my letter to the president, I said the project they are proposing will be wasteful. I didn't say that. And I hope you have time to read the letter to your viewers, your listeners. I never said that. What I said was that it will be far more prudent to complete the existing one than to abandon it and start a new one. One of the problems we have had in our country is that we take decisions purely on political grounds, and it doesn't help. And since I wrote this letter, even the finance minister himself, when he said that I asked for the stoppage of the project and I called it wasteful, he was asked to read the letter. And when he read the letter, there was nothing like that in the letter. I never said that.
Okay.
Okay. It's unfortunate that when people lose the argument, then they resort to emotions, which is quite unfortunate. I expect people like you with the platform to use this opportunity to educate Ghanaians about the intent of this letter, which raised germane concerns. Every reasonable person who has read this letter says that, hey, the guy has a point. And
I'll be honest with you. Right from when I even heard the finance minister read portions of it, I did not see too much wrong with it, except that for the commentary that has come after that, Honorable, I've heard you say stuff like the NDC wants to name the project after Mahama, for instance, which is one of the reasons why you're opposed to it. Did you make that statement?
No. You see, in the debate, during the debate, the chairperson of the Roads and Transport Committee said that they are going to do the road and name it after Mahama. Then I was saying that it appears that the primary reason they want to abandon the old one and do new one is to do something and put Mahama's name on it. If they put Mahama, if they do something and put President Mahama's name on, that is fine. But it's not advisable. It's not prudent.
It's not the main reason why they should be they should be taking the project on. That's what you're saying. But I've also heard
it shouldn't be a reason to abandon the existing project. My whole problem is the indication that they were going to abandon what had.
Was there any such indication, though? Sorry to interrupt, but was there any indication that they were going to abandon that project?
Yeah, the minister has said that they were going to abandon the old one and start a fresh new one. In fact, they did not factor it in their budget. Yeah, that's enough indication. Okay, right now they've come back to say, because of the pressure, the questions people are asking them, hey, what is happening? Are you going to abandon this project? Would it make sense to spend a lot of money to dualize this and abandon it? Now they are saying that they did not say that they are going to abandon it. That is fine. If that is so, then there are two key interventions they have to do to continue and complete the project. Is to complete the bypasses, which has achieved 72% rate, completion rate, and also the 94 kilometers of the section that is not dualized. Once they do that, they will have completed the existing highway dualization project. That is fine. If that's what they're going to do, then there's no issue at all. But the issue, my concerns will have been addressed. Exactly. My concerns will have been addressed. Yeah, and if after that they want to build an expressway, for instance, if they want to, for instance, they have a private sector investor who will come and say that, hey, I want to build Accra-Kumasi expressway, 3 lanes on each side, and put a toll on it. That makes sense, and that's what in many countries.
This was along those lines, though, isn't it? From the best knowledge,
they haven't indicated the funding options. They haven't indicated.
Which is something we have to talk about. And I think that that's one of the valid points you raised in your letter, right? Because you stated that the government has not made clear how they were going to raise funding, the cost estimates, the road designs, and all of that. I think these are legitimate questions. But let's go back to the abandonment part, right? So we know that there could be this project going on, which is pretty functional to a large extent. And some experts have also said that once another highway, expressway, whatever you want to call it, turnpike, is created, it's also going to take pressure off this existing one. Now, people have likened this to the Volta Dam project when Kwame Nkrumah was building a dam, and people, it's said in our history that a certain political party, let me just say that, indicated that this was wasteful. Likening it to what's happening now, even though you've cleared that you didn't say it's wasteful. And then later on, we all see the importance of the Volta Dam and to the point where we even need extra, an extra one. How do you react to that?
I don't have the facts regarding what was said about a voter dam. I don't have, so I don't want to go in there. Yeah, I think it's important that we stick to what I wrote, which you yourself has indicated that you don't see anything wrong with the issues that I raised.
Most of the issues raised in there. Most.
The finance minister said that I indicated in my letter that the project they are proposing is wasteful. There is nowhere in the letter that says that. Okay, and all that the letter is saying that they shouldn't abandon what is already under construction. Okay, and another key point that I raised in my letter was that they had indicated that the new project we were going to start will be done within 3 years. And I said that is not possible from experience. Okay. And I indicated in the letter that after the president had mentioned the duration of 3 years, the road minister came to say that they are now in the process of hiring a consultant to do feasibility studies. And my concern was that if you haven't done feasibility studies, on what basis did you conclude that you can start in 2026? And because it is after the feasibility studies that you can conclude on your final design. You can do costing of the project, you know how much it will cost. Then you can look for the funding. And once you look for the funding and the funding is secured, then you can procure a contractor. When you procure a contractor for such a big project, he has to mobilize to sites. It will require some equipment be imported or mobilized from other places to come. Such a big project is a greenfield area. So you will have to relocate some people farming in certain areas. You will have to pay compensation, and it all take some time, to conclude all those arrangements and negotiations. Yeah. So it takes some time. When you even start the actual construction, you will go to a place that you see galamsey pits, rocky areas that you have to blast and all that. Okay, so it will take some time, and that I'm saying that it will not take less than 6 years to complete that road, and that if you have abandoned the existing road, what don't you think that the commuters, those who are currently using that road, will suffer? In fact, today I use that road. Today I just got back from the state of disrepair. And it's so bad that we continue to allow, during my time, we gave a contractor to repair those sections of the road, and they haven't been resourced. So they are not working on the side. But this is the critical corridor. The volume of traffic on this road is much higher than any other road in the country.
That's true.
If you are going to do a new one, that is fine, but it will take a long time to complete. But that doesn't mean that people should suffer when they are using the existing one. And these are the concerns I raise. And unfortunately, it looks like people have been paid to pick a part to suggest that I don't like.
You think what you said has been misconstrued? That's what you're saying.
Oh, of course, but it's deliberately. It's deliberately. Okay. And when
let's go to your letter. Let me quote from your letter and ask you something from this. It's on the second page. Nushrun, please put up the second page for me. Yes, and somewhere in there, I think it's the third or fourth paragraph, depending on if you count that first part as a paragraph. You say, moreover, Article 35. You've actually reiterated this already in this interview. Moreover, Article 35, 7 of the 1992 Constitution enjoins governments to continue development projects initiated by previous administrations in the national interest. Abandoning an ongoing project, one that is technically sound, economically justified, and already delivering results, contradicts this constitutional directive and may set a precedent for wasteful governance. Isn't this where you said it was wasteful?
No. When you say when you stop a project or abandon a project that already has received significant investment into it already, and you stop it, of course, it's wasteful.
So you said it's wasteful in a certain way.
No. The wasteful I use is regards to abandoning it, not the new project they want to do.
Okay.
I mean, look
Okay.
at it. Yeah. Okay. The finance minister said that the project they are proposing will be wasteful. That's not the point.
That's not what you
if you
abandon
abandon
the one that's already ongoing is
exactly
what you are referring to as wasteful.
It will be waste. Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Let me explain this to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you are building, you are building a house,
mm-hmm.
okay, in Houston, and the house will cost $1 million,
mm-hmm.
and you spent already about 70% of it, $600,000,
mm-hmm.
okay, and all of a sudden you're saying that hey, that house, the location. I may not like it. There's a new location that I like, so I want to go and build it close to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this new place, it will cost maybe $2 million to build.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The way you have already spent $600,000 to construct the road, the house, and you want to abandon it to go and do a new one. Don't you think that you have wasted resources?
Once the word abandoned comes,
exactly. But that's the point.
It's only I think it's only wasteful when it's abandoned. Exactly. But then again, I don't know if the government has indicated that they're going to abandon that project. So that's the challenge. But it's really good that you explain this, because now, at least for me, I understand clearly that your reference to the term wasteful was not in reference to the project, but to abandoning the existing project which the previous government started. Correct?
Exactly.
All right. Now, let me also ask you this, Honorable. So you made reference to the 1992 Constitution enjoining governments to continue projects. Mm-hmm. People are raising concerns about why your government did not, for instance, continue the hospitals that were started by President Mahama, some of which are in your region, but rather started a brand new Agenda 111 project, for instance.
No. Agenda 111 has a different objective. The hospitals that we did not abandon any projects, but sometimes some of the projects there are funding issues. You know, for instance, there's one that they mentioned at Afari, I think the military hospital in Ashanti region.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when even the builder, the contractor came to see me, that there are some funds that the government has to pay for to him. And when I followed up with Ministry of Finance at the time, they were saying that he was raising some extra cost overruns that they did not agree. I think there were some variation issues and all that. So that was the bone of contention. You know, not that we deliberately abandoned it. That's not the case. Yeah, there was some funding variation, cost overruns that were the Ministry of Finance,
which you couldn't solve for the whole entire 8 years that the government was in power.
Yeah, that was the bone of contention. And you know, when you pay something and you cannot justify, it might also have its own implications. And that is,
I need to answer for me. You said there were issues with it, cost variations and all that. For 8 years, you couldn't straighten that up?
Well, I mean, the details may be different. And for this, I want you to speak to those who are
directly involved.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I'm just saying that no project was deliberately abandoned. Yeah. Well, even the schools that President Mahama did, I think he called it. He built some schools. We continued a good number of them. The blocks, we continue a good number of them. So we didn't abandon
compounds, for instance. We didn't see the previous government continuing the chip compounds.
Oh, really? Chip compounds are not.
You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know everything.
Well, I'm not aware of any chip compound that was abandoned. I mean, chip compounds are normally done at the local level from district assembly, common fund, and all that. So it's not an issue that central government has a big.
Well, the central government has oversight over all.
It does, but I'm just saying that there wasn't any deliberate plan on the part of the central government to abandon chip compounds. These are very important.
I'll take your word for it. And I'll leave the audience to make their own. But let me ask you again.
And it's always important that for me, if an area is, I don't have information in an area, I don't want to talk about it because you may mislead people.
That's very professional, and I respect that. So, but let me ask you though. So, some people are also saying that this new project that's being proposed, right? And we've given copious examples of other parts of the world. New Jersey, Turnpikes, and all that. If you come to Texas, for instance, Texas is one of the states that has probably the best road networks in the whole entire world, if I'm not exaggerating, right?
Okay.
Now, there are roads that you can take that will lead you where you want to go, just may take you a little longer to get there. And then there are roads that will take you express, right? Speed limit 70 kilometers an hour, 70 miles an hour. Right, and then maybe you may pay a little toll and all of that. So people are asking, what is wrong with a second expressway, even if there's one already existing, as long as we are not, And
there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you can have the money to build. You are talking about Texas because they were able to raise the money to do that. If we can, why not? Exactly. And for instance, let me tell you. Many people don't know this. We governments over the years have strived to bring in the private sector to do what we call build, operate, and transfer. BOT. Okay. You come in, you put your money in a road, you toll it, you make your money and go back. When they come, when they look at the traffic, they will realize that they will not be able to recoup their investment in the period that they want, say 20 years. When they realize that they will have to recoup their investment in, say, 30, 40 years, then they leave. So that is why governments have found it very difficult to bring in private sector capital.
I see.
And people are not ready to pay economic rates. I mean, Kumasi, Accra, if you charge, say, 20 Ghana cedis, it may be a problem. But when you are driving from New York to Washington, by the time you get to Washington, you would have paid like $20 to $30, about $20.
The difference is that you can also go without paying tolls, to be honest with you, once you are out of New York.
Exactly, but it will take you a long. That would be
longer.
A long,
exactly my point. Exactly the point I was.
Yeah. But I'm saying that they are able to pay the economic rate, so the government can do that and recoup the investment, or the private sector companies can do that and recoup the investment. Okay. But here in Ghana, wait a minute, we may not be able to do that because our economic circumstances are different. Okay, economic circumstances are different. The vast majority of the people who use the road will not be able to pay for that. There are some wealthy people who can do that easily, but how many are they? You understand? So sometimes when we are comparing America and Ghana, we have to be careful because
absolutely the circumstances are very different.
Exactly.
Very different. But also we can look at some of the similarities also, even though things are so different, right? Because for instance, if you have an option to pay more, there are a lot of people who would pay. There are tourists, there are, who of course will have the purchasing power. There are people who are doing business to who losing 2 hours in traffic is not an option. So I'd rather pay the
no doubt that there are people who will pay, but how many are they?
You don't think
the volume
is what
you're saying? Are they enough to attract private sector capital? They will not. Well, they come and do traffic survey. What do you mean? They come and do traffic survey, and they know the volume of traffic. Okay, and they say that, hey, if we charge, say, 5 Ghana cedis, this is how much we can recoup in 20 years. And they find it very low, and it will not be attractive for them. And that is why governments have strive to use its own resources to build this road.
I hear you on that. My question there is this: if, in spite of all this, the government is bold enough to say that we're going to accomplish this in 3 years, don't you think no.
But I'm not against that. But I'm concerned that they want to abandon. They will abandon the existing road. That's all. As for the new road, they nobody can stop them. And in fact, they intend to do it, and they're going to do it. And we are expecting that they go by their word and complete it in 3 years.
Time.
Okay. That we don't have a problem, because keep in mind that the existing road is also important, because apart from wait a minute, apart from Kumasi, there are people who are going to Osino. There are people who are going to Kwao. Yes. There are people who are going to Nkoko.
Yes.
Now there is in this budget, there is another huge infrastructure project, which is Amamfum bridge. Is the bridge over the Afram Plains. The idea is to construct a bridge there, which is also another expensive project. And for this has been on the drawing board in our country for a long time. The expectation is that this bridge will unlock the economic potential in the Afram Plains area, and it will be the food basket of our country. Okay, so once this bridge is done and we have agricultural production going on, it's supposed to help us solve our agricultural issues. Food prices will go down and all that. And you don't need a highway to transport these goods from Accra, from Afram Plains to Accra into Kumasi. So the existing network also has a very important work to do.
I totally agree, because these are also major towns which are connected with this road network. So now, Honorable Asenso Boakye, let me say this. This interview has been, I'm feeling like I'm sitting outside watching the interview, right?
Yeah.
Because it's been very revealing to me. This is my summary of it. You are not against the project. You are against abandoning the existing project. In summary, is that correct?
Absolutely. And it's stated clearly in the letter. And whenever I've had the opportunity to engage the media, this is exactly what I say. And in fact, in many cases, when I don't even speak and observers look at the letter and they review the letter, they come to the same conclusion as I've concluded with you, that the objective of the letter is to deal with abandoning the existing project, which has its own advantages. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Honorable Francis Asenso Boakye. Before we go, what do you have for the people of Bantama, your constituency? Some of who are a bit angry because they think, say, Adi Ebefi, Adi Ebakotoko,
narrative of my political opponents. Any person used this against me, but Ghana for enemy, ye peobia, Asantemai, Ghana mine in the current political dispensation. What go out of his way to work very hard for Asantemai. Ye can ni pana unimi free. To be a nussemi to Asantemai, be Asantemai console at Edamakumaso. Into my political opponent, I know that you are desperate to tarnish my reputation, but it's not going to be an easy exercise for you. Exactly, especially when I was at a meeting in Kumasi when I was told that the finance minister is accusing me. But the same people who called me said that when he read this letter, he couldn't justify the accusation. So any right-thinking person, any reasonable person will know that what finance minister did was wrong and is unbefitting of a man who is in charge of our public purse.
Mami, a bit inquisitive. What's your political opponents? Who are these political opponents? Are they within your party, or you mean the NDC and our finance minister? Your political opponents.
They are all political opponents because I've seen people, different people.
Culture. Within and without.
No, okay. Let me say my opponents and enemies, my political opponents and political enemies, because the opponents are the obvious ones. The forces. No. The outside. They are the opponent. The forces. They are they are opponents. So naturally, they will oppose whatever you say. Yeah. Then there are enemies, those within the party who also don't wish you well. Also, they also use it. Yeah.
But also pushing this agenda against you.
This false narrative. But the letter is clear. In future, when my kids grow up and they read the letter, they will be proud that the letter that dad wrote was one that is nationalistic, was one that calls for prudence, was one that calls for continuity of government projects. When you send this letter to any university student, take it to the universities, Department of Planning, Department of Civil Engineering, Department of Architecture, all these important infrastructure ministries, when they read the letter, they will be proud of me. I'm setting up an infrastructure hub, working with the KNUST to do proper analysis of government infrastructure for them to advise government appropriately. So this what has come before us this week will be a subject matter for interrogation at this infrastructure hub that I'm working actively with the KNUST to set up. So I'm already in the space, and Kwesi, keep in mind that apart from the fact that I'm a planner by profession, by God's grace and thanks to President Akufo-Addo, he put me in two critical ministries: Ministry for Works and Housing, Ministry for Roads and Transport. These are construction ministry.
Yeah.
So if somebody like me, I come out to raise very genuine concern about a national project, it's not out of place. Okay, people should look at the rationale,
the message,
and the analysis being made, than using emotions. And look, last week in Parliament, I can send you a video of my intervention. When this road minister came, he said that he was worried. He was not happy that he looked at the data and he realized that a big chunk of President Akufo-Addo's infrastructure projects concentrated in Greater Accra and Ashanti. And he said that he is going to correct that. And I was saying that no, it's not by chance that it is like that. But this Accra and Kumasi, the population alone is huge. And the level of economic activities between Accra and Kumasi, that is what drives the economy of Ghana. So it is natural that your infrastructure projects will benefit more of the communities in these two regions. Okay, when I said that, the opponents, including enemies, saying that I'm saying that President Mahama shouldn't send road infrastructure to the northern part of the country. Can you imagine? And an MP was making reference to that in Parliament. And I was telling him that they are using regional, tribal bigotry politics to divide the country. And that is not good for our country. When people lose the argument, they resort to emotion. When people lose the argument, they refuse to confront the issues. They refuse to confront ideas. They refuse to confront analysis, but resort to emotions. It's up for people like you, knowledgeable people like you, who have lived outside and seen how development is being shaped in those countries, to come out to condemn those people. And I expect that out of this interview, you will make it available to the press to also highlight it, so that together we all build our country.
Absolutely, that's the point. That's the aim. Except, say, I don't want to flog a dead horse, to be honest with you, but I think, say, the way you going back to that issue about the amount of development projects in the Greater Accra and Ashanti region, I think, said the narrative again, and you can help us correct this. This is all part of correcting some of the things that have been put out there about you, right? But then what was said, what was reported, I should say, is that you were suggesting that because the minister was saying, they are going to concentrate on other regions, that amounted to abandoning Ashanti region, which I think rather is an unfortunate statement to make if that's what you were saying.
That what I don't understand your point.
Let me clarify that. So is it true that you said the minister said that a lot of infrastructure projects are in the Greater Accra and Ashanti region, right? And then the minister indicated that they were going to concentrate on some other regions. Is that the case? And to you, that is that means that the minister is going to abandon Ashanti region. I think I may have heard you say that on one of those radio stations.
Well, I didn't even go into that narrative. What I was saying, what I was explaining, was that there is a reason why the investment, a big chunk of the investment, in Greater Accra and Ashanti region. And for instance, when you want to build an interchange, Pokuasi interchange is the biggest interchange in West Africa. So it's an outliner in the investment, road investments, because it's huge, and that one alone would drive the investment cost towards Greater Accra. And there are other similar, like the Flower Pot interchange, the Obechebil interchange, and these are very important interventions to improve productivity and all that in the capital. So with that, it is expected that the investment cost will rise in Greater Accra region.
Oh, no.
Okay. So I was only explaining the reason behind why the investment in Greater Accra and Ashanti region are high. And it's not that it's
that's indisputable. But I'm saying though, did you suggest, say, the minister focusing on other regions, amounts to abandoning Ashanti region? Did you say that?
It's by implication, that's what it meant.
I beg to differ, though.
No, that's what it meant. What it mean? You see, it's the share of development. It's not. For instance, if we need an interchange in Kumasi, that will help in the development of Kumasi. Because Kumasi is a nodal city. People from other parts of the country connect through Kumasi to go to other parts of the country. Yes. So if you refuse to implement an intervention to address the transportation issues in Kumasi, it affects.
I don't think there's any question about that at all.
Exactly. So if
the only question is, did you think, or did you say, or did you mean that the minister spreading out infrastructure projects across the country amounts to abandoning the Ashanti region?
No. It doesn't. As for the spreading,
I hope you didn't say that.
No, I didn't say that. And as for the spreading, it's important. And President Akufo-Addo, President Kufuor, there was relative spread of infrastructure projects, except that some regions will receive more because of the economic activities
and all of that.
So that's all I was saying.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Honorable Francis Asenso Boakye, MP for Bantama and former Minister for Roads and also former Minister for Works and Housing. Before I back on, just 1 quick minute, please. More primaries, NPP. What do you think is going to be the result? At the end of the year, you're expecting?
I hope you will send me a link, the recording of this interview.
I will, definitely. Yes. And we'll send you all the social media links as well.
Yeah. I don't know what you want to get from me for this, whether you want to find out who I support but as for the results,
you want to tell me, hey, I think I know, but why not?
As for the results there, delegates need to be decided. I'm a delegate. I'm just one of them. and there are over.
What's your projection?
2,000.
What's your projection?
Projection. I can tell you my preference and why I believe my preference is the best option for the party.
1 minute.
I'm not a poster.
Okay, 1 minute. Tell us who you want.
I think Dr. Bawumia is the best our best shot for 2028 because he's very well known in the country. He's been marketed, and his demeanor and his knowledge on governance issues puts him above. That does not mean that the rest are not competitive. I know all of them, and I know they are all capable of becoming president. Except that I believe that for the fact that NDC will be presenting a totally fresh candidate, Dr. Bawumia, having been marketed across the country, every village, I keep on using the fact that whenever I'm on the highways, whenever I go to villages, I see his posters, I see his billboards, and that shows that he's been marketed widely. For the fact that NDC will be presenting a fresh candidate, Dr. Bawumia is the one who will have a competitive or comparative advantage over the NDC candidate. Yeah.
Yep. But you know what? I'm more interested in than the presidential. I think for the presidential, but I think that's almost a no-brainer. However, where my interest really lies is for the spot of chairman of the party.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, we are not there yet. We are currently.
I know their own car. President, they overcarry their own car. Okay.
No, because we haven't. The party has not opened nomination for chairman. So no
for
one
chairman yet. Okay, okay, all right.
Those when it comes and those who pick.
Promise me you will do an interview to discuss that. Promise us.
No
please.
problem. No problem. I've enjoyed your conversation. I feel very relaxed and having a very interesting conversation with you. As far as NPP is concerned, there are several people who are qualified for chairman, and based on the person's plan and message, we will evaluate and take it forward.
All right, do this. Okay, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time, sir. You have been very, 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 very magnanimous towards us. You were in the green room for a very long time. I saw you while I was setting up for the show. That's some level
because I was watching a Liverpool game, and we were winning. Okay. I was excited, and I was like, "Let me just set it up while I wait."
That's right. So you were in a good mood for the interview already.
For sure.
That's fantastic.
And next time, I mean, in the Texas area, I will give you a shot.
Please come and eat fufu at home, please.
Oh, for sure. No, when I come to Texas,
I'll to my home.
Because you won't do
next
it.
Time you are in the Dallas area, please.
Okay, all right, sure.
Thank you very much. Francis Asenso Boakye, MP for Bantama and former Roots Minister, telling us what exactly was in that letter that he wrote to President Mahama. I think that's an interesting discussion.